Hey, everybody, welcome into STL Sports Central presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours, and you are watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. I'm Eric Sontag, and I am joined by Sean Cerlillo and Tito Ulrich. We are recording the show on Friday, June 13th, so we'll be previewing this game tonight with the struggling St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. We got St. Louis City SC back at home tomorrow against the LA Galaxy. And that'll be our home team coverage brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. We'll also have picks for game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight and game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final tomorrow. And then we will have our best bets here on the show brought to you by Pretzel Boys. And this is a chance for you, the viewer, to get involved in best bets and win a prize. So all you got to do is drop us a comment on this video with your best bet for the weekend. Could be any play from across the world of sports. If you are the first person to comment and your bet hits, you win a $20 gift card from Pretzel Boys. So obviously, if the first person loses their bet, then the second commenter will win the gift card if they hit their best bet, and so on and so forth. So again, leave us a comment on this video with your best bet for the weekend for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Pretzel Boys. They have 5 locations across the area. Check them out at stlpretzelboys.com. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our STL Sports Central YouTube channel. And if you prefer audio over video, Domesticated Gamblers is available on podcast on Apple and Spotify. So with that housekeeping out of the way, Tito, what's happening, brother? Happy Friday. How we doing?
Pretty good. Happy Friday to you boys. Looking forward to the weekend full of sports. I got a couple baseball games that I'm going to be coaching. I'm going to be holding these umpires accountable all weekend long, and looking forward to the Redbirds. I know it's been a rough stretch over the last several days, but I'm optimistic about the weekend, and I'm thinking we could pull out a series win against the Brewers.
It makes me nervous when Tito is optimistic. It always makes me nervous. Make sure you turn down your echo, Tito. It might be on just slightly on your mic. Sean, what's up with you, brother?
Not much. It's been a busy week. Work's been crazy busy. I got a little summer cold here, but yeah, the gambling's been great. Last week or so, I've came back down to earth, hitting at about a 45% rate the last week. But hey, over the last 70 days or so, it's still at 66%. We'll take that 9 times out of 10. And listen, who doesn't love Pretzel Boys? So all you got to do is type in city draw Blues. NHL, Florida Panthers, Oilers over. That's it. Simple, and you win $20. Who doesn't love free pretzels? So get involved, fans, for sure. I'm excited to talk about the Cardinals here, and life's been good, man. Looking forward to the next vacation, though, July 4th. Let's go, baby. Everybody wants some time off here in the summer.
Yep, can't wait. Everybody back in our home office here this week for the show. And let's get started with some Cardinals talk. But first, definitely want to tell you guys about our sponsor, James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. And man, I was on drop-off duty for my daughter at her camp yesterday. And she's going to a camp at a school down by Forest Park. And that was the first time I've been down there since the tornadoes a few weeks ago. And like, holy shit, guys. Like, I knew it was bad from what I had heard, but just seeing it up close and in person, the damage was even worse than I thought. Like, there's trees still down everywhere. Just about every single home I drove by had some kind of damage on the roof. So it was definitely a reminder of how important it is to have a good insurance agent. And so, like, if you're one of those people and you go through a claims process and you're not happy with the service you get, or your agent gets exposed as not being very good, I just highly recommend you get in touch with James Carlton and State Farm and consider making the switch like I did and like Tito did. James Carlton has 430 5-star reviews on Google. Okay, so this is not just an advertisement. There are hundreds of people out there besides me that are super happy to have James Carlton as their agent. Here is a new review posted on Google just about a week ago. It reads, "The first person I met at the agency was Bob Sullivan. He did an amazing job of both setting my husband and I up with great coverage and saving us a lot of money. After my husband had a hail damage claim for his truck, we were in touch with Stephanie. She was very professional and responsive. I also had a follow-up conversation with James, terrific guy. This team has been a necessary switch for our family. Thanks, guys, and keep up the good work. That's what I'm talking about right there. James and his team are on it. They take great care of you, and they can save you a bunch of money. I'm saving over $800 this year by switching my home and auto policies to James Carlton and State Farm. It takes just a few minutes to get a quote at carltoninsurance.net, or you can give them a quick call during normal business hours, and you will talk to a person right then and there. When you get a quote, mention Domesticated Gamblers or STL Sports Central, and they'll make a donation on your behalf to Mizzou's NIL fund. So contact James Carlton today. The phone number 314-961-4800, or go to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And guys, let's start with the Cardinals, and it is rough right now over the last week. The Birds have lost 5 in a row, now 4-9 in their last 13 games, and the record has fallen to 36-33, and Flag Day is tomorrow. So it is not early anymore. We can talk about the standings, and the Cardinals with the loss last night, now in third place in the Central, a half game behind the Brewers, 6 games behind the Cubs. Cards are also 3 games behind the Padres for the final wild card spot. Freshen up the odds for the Cardinals to make the playoffs this morning on DraftKings. The no, they will not make the playoffs, priced up at minus 290 now. Yes, they will make the playoffs, is at plus 240. So, Tito, I'm coming to you first. I'm blaming you for this. I knew this was going to happen as soon as you get on board with this team and get all optimistic. The tailspin has begun. So what do you make of all this? Sounds like you're optimistic about this weekend. So just what are your thoughts on these Redbirds?
You're blaming me for this. Big woof on that. I was singing the Cardinals' praises last week, and then when we go and take 2 out of 3 against the damn Los Angeles Dodgers. I got a lot to say about that fraud, Clayton Kershaw, and his comments after one of those games, but I'll hold that till a little bit later. But I'm optimistic about this weekend. Definitely think that there's been some regression to the mean itself. You know, we had a really good month in regards to May, in regards to just winning series after series and going on a long winning streak. And so I think this is just kind of a standard up and down flow of what baseball teams go through every single year. So I'm not really pessimistic about anything. I am a little like the starting pitching is what it is. It's getting warmer, so you're going to see a little bit more runs scored. But I like our matchups this weekend against the Brewers. Michaelis is dominant at Miller Park, or whatever the fuck they call that bandbox of a stadium up there in Milwaukee. Big woof to that. But I'm optimistic. I think that this team is still trending in the right direction. I like the young people that they got going on. So hopefully Fetty can control the Brewers to a degree, and we can score some runs tonight and get off to a good start for the weekend.
Man, a rational take from Tito. I'm loving it. Sean, do you co-sign what Tito is spitting out there?
Yeah, he's kind of taking our coattails on that take. It's kind of what I've been saying last week. Slow the Jets a little bit. Baseball's a long season, and pretty much exactly what I said last week. So kudos for you, Tito, to listening to me. I don't feel
Learn from
optimistic.
the best, Daddy. I learned from the best.
That's right. I don't feel optimistic this weekend, though. Milwaukee's on fire. They're just catching, we're catching them at a bad time. And yesterday, we finally got on the road after a homestand. Throw that one out the books, but I don't feel optimistic this weekend. I think Milwaukee probably gets the best of us 3 out of 4. So that's fine. You get out of here at 500. You're going to beat up on the White Sox. Hopefully you beat up on Cincinnati when you come back home. And then you get the Cubs for 4 games, and that's where you got to make some ground. So this Milwaukee series, hope to God you can split. That's about all we're looking for, really. I'm serious. Milwaukee's red hot. I'm just more looking at that Chicago series and the Reds. You need to win, I would say, 5 out of that 6. You got to win 5 out of that 6 to get back into this thing and then take on the Cubs at home for 4 games. And that's where I think we're going to know what the Cardinals are about here after about 10 days. But I still think they're a 500 ball club. That's about what they're going to be.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Yeah, go ahead, Tito.
I mean, Sean, you say they're red hot. They're 5-5 out of the last 10. So I mean, the Cardinals are struggling to a degree, but it's not like the Brewers are on an 8-game winning streak. So you got to take that with a grain of salt, folks. But Come on, jump on the Tito train and get your mind right.
Yeah.
I know you got a little bit of a cold, but come on down to the bandwagon and let's will this team to a series victory this weekend. Come on, what do you say, Mr. Sharp?
Yeah, I wish. Milwaukee is hot, though. They made a standings push here. They were below us, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and now they caught us. So, yeah, the last 10,
Half
they're
a
playing
game.
500 ball. But, I mean, they caught us. Numbers are numbers. So, I'm just looking forward to that White Sox series. We really need to sweep them, and we really need to beat up on Cincinnati. We've always had Cincinnati's number in the division for years. And then you got to play Chicago tough. So that's what I'm looking forward to is can we hang for the next 10 days?
Yep. I think it's just kind of survival mode right now. Tito, I'm like totally with you. I just think this is a classic case of regression to the mean. Like
Yeah.
5 games ago, the record was 36-28. That's a pace of 91 wins. Like nobody on the show or no rational fan out there thought this was a 90-win team. And they're now 36-33. That's a pace of 84 and a half wins. That is more where they belong. And before the season, like if you would have been told the Cardinals would win 84 games, I think the vast majority of fans would have taken that for what this year is supposed to be. And I'll remind everyone again, the sports books had the win total at 75 and a half before the season. Okay. So like that by definition is what the expectation was for the team of what they were supposed to accomplish. So like if they go over that number, they will by definition have surpassed expectations from before the season. And Sean and I get to cash our tickets on the over as well, which is really nice. So I just think everyone needs to take a breath. I like hearing the rational, not freaking out thoughts from you guys, and just realize this is not a 90-win team. Like that pace was not going to keep up. There's just so much pitch to contact in this team that at some point the BABIP was going to go against you, and that's a big part of what's happened these last couple weeks, where they'd been running real good on BABIP previously. So like the regression has come, and I'm with you, Sean. I don't think the regression may be over because this is a tough matchup tonight in Milwaukee with Freddie Peralta up against Eric Fetty. Brewers a pretty heavy favorite here, minus 156. Cardinals a plus 128 underdog, and your total's at 7.5. So Sean, for this game specifically, I'll start with you. Where are you leaning, or where's your action on this one?
One last thing. The Cardinals haven't rolled over and died, though. They've lost a lot of close games, a lot of late inning home runs to get things, the end of the score looks pretty good. That Kansas City series, a couple bad losses. Same thing with Toronto. Those were tough losses. So it's good to see the team. They just keep fighting, and that's all you can ask for as fans. Like they're not giving up. This team is hungry, but the left-handed pitching has been really killing us. It's starting to show its ugly face. I've talked about it. We just have way too many left-handed batters in that lineup. For tonight, I don't love anything here. I would play the over maybe. I think we could see an over game. Peralta's hit or miss. When Peralta's on, this guy's one of the best in the game. But when he's walking batters, he's not. And Fetty, we all know about Fetty. He's just surviving right now. He walks some batters. He's getting a lot of guys on base, but he's somehow getting it done. And I got a feeling he gets hit. So I kind of like the over tonight. That would be a small play, not even half unit play, nothing large.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Tito, where are you thinking?
Yeah, Freddie Peralta is an absolute fraud of a pitcher. I can't stand that guy. Every time I see his eyes, every time I see him in a postseason rotation, my eyes light up like I don't even know. It's a pleasant experience when I see him in the postseason rotation. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm not super worried about Freddie freaking Peralta. Big woof. Eric Fetty will give up a lot of runs tonight, but I think these Cardinal bats will get a little bit right. Again, 0-1s last night, so we're due. So I like the fact that we're playing up there in Milwaukee. That's a bandbox of a stadium. So I do think the over is the right play. And I'm thinking a Cardinal W, baby. Let's go Cardinals, and let's see these bats come alive, and we start running all over the place there in Milwaukee.
Oh, man, go ahead,
I
Sean.
could see it, Tito. I could see a Cardinal win tonight. Maybe a high scoring game. But I'm hoping Newbar gets out. They didn't have him in the leadoff spot. He's not running right. I mean, he's not seeing the ball right at all. I was at the game last week. You could tell. I think it was Tuesday night I was at the game this week. I mean, man, he's taking some bad hacks up there. So Mason Wynn needs to stay up on top. And I don't know what they're going to do in that 2-hole. Is Donnie all right? Is he going to play?
We're going to find out tonight. I think he's going to test it before the game, and they'll kind of know, like, hey, should we just IL him, and be able to backdate it, or can he give it a go? Like, I think that's the latest update. We're going to find out tonight after he takes BP and goes through a workout.
Yeah, that really hurts the lineup. Makes us a little more shallow.
It
I'd
it
like to see
does.
Sagasi brought up if he goes on the IL and throw him in the 2-hole.
Yeah, to me, there's no way I can bet the Cardinals here for really a couple reasons. The offense, just how it's really just not looking very imposing right now, as you alluded to, and I just think the regression monster is coming for Fetty at some point soon. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. His last start against the Dodgers, he walks 4 and strikes out only 2, but he pitches 5 1/3 innings, a shutout ball. Like, that is not sustainable. So you can
His
just
whip
really,
his whip is 1.3 on the season.
yeah, and I know Tito likes the real numbers with a whip of 1.30. I mean, that's not when you that category in fantasy baseball most weeks. His strikeout to walk ratio was 46 strikeouts to 33 walks in over 73 innings pitched. And then when you go under the hood and look at the Fangraphs numbers, which me and Sean like and Tito hates, the season ERA is 3.54. His expected ERA is 5.28. Yeah, that's right. Take notes, Tito. The xFIP is over 5 as well. So, like, Sean, do you buy that like the regression's coming hard for Fetty? Or do you think this is like, hey, this is just who he is. He gives up weak contact and he can keep getting pretty good results, right? Or do you think he's going to get hit hard here pretty soon?
Yeah, he's not Zach Greinke. Zach Greinke gave up a lot of weak contact. He's not that guy. He was just over in the Korean Baseball League 3 years ago. Fetty's not that guy. He's going to get rocked here soon. Speaking of fantasy baseball, I put it on Tito last week, and I'm back in first place where I belong. And, you can take notes, Tito. If you took more notes about the underlying numbers, you would win some titles like yours truly here. So you should pay attention to those numbers. They really do work. Yeah, he's going to get rocked. That's, the over here. We talked about this, Eric, to start the season. This rotation is not sexy. Yeah, they can get the job done, but the BABIP is going to eat them alive eventually. And what's the weather? It's warming up now. We're almost at summer. So
Yeah.
I'm worried. But I do think there's hope. I like Quinn Matthews. He's been good in the minor leagues. This Roby kid, he's a top 100 prospect. He's been coming on. So there's some hope. There's a couple fantasy guys for you too as well to know about. But Tink Hence has showed some promise again. So I do think there's hope with the rotation. I do think that if Mozeliak stays true to what baseball is right now, calling up your young pitchers, don't waste their bullets in the minor leagues. Bring them up, use them in the major leagues. I think there's hope down the stretch. If we can stick around, we can stick around.
Looking at some other potential plays for tonight, Tito. I know you love looking at the batter versus pitchers matchup. Did you see the green lights like lighting up for the Brewers against Fetty? I got some of the numbers if you want to hear these. So when you combine all the hitters on the Brewers, they have exactly 100 at bats against Fetty lifetime. They're hitting 400 off him with a 474 on base percentage and an OPS over 1100. Again, this isn't exactly 100 at bats. William Contreras, 8 for 14 with 2 home runs off Fetty. Yelich, 8 for 15. That's a 533 average. You got those damn slap hitters that the Brewers just like bring out, Terang, Frelick, that Ortiz. They're a combined 11 for 21 against Fetty. Rhys Hoskins, they faced each other a lot when they were both in the NL East. He's hitting 294 with 3 home runs off Fetty and 34 at bats. So just like up and down the lineup, they're hitters with tons of success against Fetty, and they're feeling good right now after scoring 6 runs last night. You could tell they were swinging the bats well. So like Freddie Peralta's been really good this year. ERA 2.69. He's only gotten lit up one time. He's given up more than three runs just once all season long. And just like that Cardinals offense right now, it's a bad time. With Donovan banged up, Newt Bard, they got to move him down. If he's leading off tonight, I feel like I got to find a way to bet the Brewers at some point. But like, I don't like laying minus 156 on a money line. So I'm just really struggling here because there's all these different options, and I'm trying to figure out which one to fire on. So like, maybe we can talk this out a little bit. Tito, like you got all those enticing hitter props on the Brewers. Fetty, I see, is over 2.5 earned runs. It's moved up to minus 140. The juice on that tonight. Brewers minus 1.5 on the run line. Is it plus 138?
Listen,
I
don't
don't know.
overthink
Where do we
this.
go here, Sean?
You just gave the case for the over. Take the over. You're literally saying the over. You're saying all these guys rake this and that. I'd be on the over. Don't make it complicated.
But that means that you probably need some help for the Cardinals, and I'm not convinced they're going to be able to help with that. Brewers team total over 3.5, minus 145. A lot of juice, but don't you see the Brewers scoring 4 runs in this game? I don't know. Or is it Brewers minus 1.5, Sean?
I'm not laying the 1.5. I kind of agree with Tito for some odd reason. I think the Cardinals put up a good fight. I like the over. That's where I'm at with this.
All right. I think that's where I'm going to land on this. Tito, do you think that's the best player? You like any of those props, or what do you think?
Oh, geez, I think the right play is the over. Definitely, I'm not. Like I said, Fetty's going to get rocked. Those stats. I got a couple of those. I got a couple of Brewers on my fantasy team, Daddy. So I'm excited about tonight. I got Yelich and I got freaking Contreras. So I'm excited about that. I was thinking about picking up Hoskins, but that guy has been absolutely atrocious over the last month. So I'm kind of taking the advice from Mr. Sharp over there and saying, hey, listen, just because he had great stats for a career, if he's not on it right now, there's no reason to believe that he's going to turn it on tonight. So I definitely think that the Cardinal offense is going to be there tonight, even without Donovan. I definitely I just feel pretty good about our approach against Peralta career-wise. Not really too worried about his, what he's doing this year. But I'm optimistic about tonight. But I guess from your guys' perspective, all those stats that you're talking about from Fetty and from the Brewers, why wouldn't you go with the Brewers and the run line if you think that those stats are so key, and you think the offense is not going to be what it should be? Why not think that the Cardinals are going to lose by 2 runs?
Yeah, it's a great question. I know for me, I do not like laying minus 1.5 with a home team because I really don't like only getting 8 bites at the apple because you don't get the bat in the bottom of the ninth. I feel I've done this a lot in the past where you take a big favorite, minus 1.5, they're at home, they're going to kill this team, and they end up winning by 1, and you're missing out on that last time at bat. I think Brewers minus 1 on DraftKings at minus 109 could be a good play too. Then if they win by 1, it's a push. Sean, what are your thoughts on the run line with Tito's question there?
Yeah, I mean, I've won a lot of bets on the 1.5 too. I've lost some bets, sure, by 1 run, but I've won them, by 2 or 3 runs too. So, I don't have the track, I don't have the numbers to say which way would be better, but I just think that the over unders not. I see a flaw here. I think it should be 9. I see 7.5. I think it should be more like 9. So that's where I'm leaning as a gambler. I think there's a little edge there. And before first pitch, we might see it bump up to 8. So I like it at 7.5 a lot.
All right, I think I'm going to ride
The
with you boys.
more I look at this.
Yeah, I think you're convincing me. I think Tito or one of you guys mentioned the Peralta numbers against the Cardinals. 19 games lifetime, 4-6 record. His ERA is 4.91. So Cardinals have hit this guy pretty well, just like the Brewers have hit Sonny Gray really well, and we saw that last night. So a fascinating game tonight. I'm really looking forward to watching it. Just hope I select the right pick for my article today on Sports of STL.
One thing, what a bunch of woof that we're just now playing the Brewers. I mean, come on, June 12th. This balanced schedule thing's great and all, but you need to play your division a little bit earlier in the year and a few more times. Get out of here with this. This is woof.
I'm okay with it. I'd rather see you play a lot more division opponents later in the year when it really matters with postseason implications and things of that nature. So I'm okay with playing other teams in the early season where you're not really having a whole lot to fight and scramble for. So I like the fact that they're playing a little bit later than usual.
Yeah,
I don't.
Just sucks we haven't seen the Cubs yet. So we've seen them here real soon yet. Huge series. So we're looking at a lot of different angles for tonight's game. I'm looking at those player props. If you love looking at props, and if you play fantasy sports and you're just really locked in to these players, you got to get in on DraftKings Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today. It's the easiest way to play for cash. and take a shot at a big win. Just select 2 or more players from any sport and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. So, man, I love the overs for those Brewers hitters I just talked about that crush Fetty in their careers. Also, NBA Finals tonight, I would take the over on Tyrese Halliburton's prop for points plus assists. I think this dude has realized he has to be assertive. When Halliburton plays too passively, the Pacers lose. And when he's in the middle of everything, they almost always win, especially at home. So that's what I'm looking at tonight. And you can get in on the action yourself with DraftKings Pick 6. It's available in most states, including right here in Missouri, also California, Texas, Georgia, and more. So cash in your player prop knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, guys, let's move on and talk some St. Louis City SC. They get the new manager bounce a couple weeks ago that Sean and I cashed in on. Tito did not, as City beat San Jose 2-1. Then last week, we all faded them on the show, and we did turn out to be correct as they lose at Portland by that same 2-1 score. I will say, though, other than finishing, I thought City played really well at Portland for the most part. They controlled the play the majority of the game. They had more big chances. But Tito, you're laughing because finishing the most important part of the game, right?
That's right. That's right.
So,
and they give up another freaking late goal to not get a point. Big woof.
Yeah. So City only scores once. They probably should have scored like 3. Their XG number was in the high 2s. Portland got that absolute banger from that Anthony guy. Like, that's what it takes in this league. If you get a player that can make a play like that, that's a difference in a game. The set piece goal, like, just terrible defending. So they get that 2-1 loss. It's the LA Galaxy in town tomorrow. Defending champions. These are defending champions. They are god awful. Did a double take when I saw this. They just got their first win of the season last week. So City crushed.
They're
this
hot,
team.
baby.
Yeah, they're coming in hot, I guess. But City crushed these guys. It was the highlight of the Olaf Melberg era. 3-0 in LA back on March 9th. And City comes into this one as an even money plus 100 favorite. Galaxy, a plus 230 underdog. Your draw set at plus 250. The total is at 3. The over's at minus 110. The under is minus 125. So, Tito, tell us more. What you think of last week, and how do you see this game shaping up tomorrow?
It's like we said. It's like we said after the head coach bounce. They are actually getting the ball deep. They're actually getting some chances. So hopefully, more chances you get, the more opportunity you're going to get to finish. So hopefully, they're working on finishing. I know my son plays club soccer with Scott Gallagher, and one of the camps they do is finishing camp. So guess what? You got to learn how to finish. So it's a big thing that Critchley needs to kind of spark the team. And not really optimistic. They're not staying very healthy. I don't necessarily think that we're going to be seeing a lot. The Xander Javi, whatever this guy they got from Atlanta. This guy's been a big woof. He's been a complete train wreck. I don't know what the hell they were seeing in that guy. Hartel can't do anything right. Toy Shirt he's absolutely abysmal on the pitch. So I'm not optimistic. I think the Galaxies are on a hot streak. At the very least, I mean, they're not really on a hot streak, folks. That's me kind of being hyperbolic, but I definitely think that I see like a 0-0 draw, maybe a 1-0 win for City. I think Berkey stands on his head for the home team, and we maybe we get a victory. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure how to take this team, but I know I'm not impressed. It's a big woof for me.
Yeah, so under 3 could be a play if you're thinking that. The under 3 to minus 125. The Galaxy to avoid a defeat, so to get a draw or win the game, is minus 130. Both those a little bit high for my taking, but like I totally see the argument for City not winning the game. Sean, what are you thinking on this one?
I see here over 2.5 goals, minus 175. Is this correct?
Minus
So
minus 165 on DraftKings.
on DraftKings. So Tito, if you like the under here, you get that under 2.5 at plus 120. There you go. There's your bet, Tito. Yeah, I like the over. But I'm not going to lay the odds. I think this is two bad teams. I think they're going to open it up here a little bit. There'll be some scoring, but I'm not going to lay them odds. If you're City, I guess you got to win this game. It's do or die still, right? Trying to get here in the playoffs.
They
but,
needed a point last week.
Yeah.
It's really, really going to be. I mean, they still got half the season, but it's going to be a tough hill to climb.
I see everybody selling their City tickets now online. That's everything I see. Come get my City tickets, cheap as can be. It's not been good this year. It's been really bad. But from a gambling perspective here, I'm going to take City. That's the way I would bet this. I think Galaxy's a dumpster fire. It looks like, like you said, one win, 1-12-4. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's terrible, So that's the only way. I'm not the big soccer guy on the show, but I would take City here. I think this is a pretty good matchup for them because they're one of the lower teams in the league, but it looks like Galaxy is the worst team in the league. So at plus money, I would take them.
I'm actually in total agreement with you because I would feel differently if the Galaxy were getting a lot of draws, but 12 losses in 17 games, like they're just not getting results. So and I saw enough good things last week that I'm comfortable taking it at plus 100. I actually thought it was going to come out at like minus 120 or so for City. So when I saw that plus number, I'm like, I'm going to take that because I think the new manager bounce kind of carried over a good amount last week with how they played outside the finishing, which obviously, as we said, is very important. And just like reading between the tea leaves, I don't even know if it's necessarily reading between the tea leaves. I think it's kind of obvious. At least reading Roman Berkey's comments, I think the players are glad that Mellberg is gone. Berkey had some pretty pointed comments yesterday. I pulled these from our buddy Will Bratton's X account. You can follow him at Will Bratton STL. He and Matthew Rocchio just do an awesome job covering City. So make sure check out their content for City here on STL Sports Central. But Berkey said under Mellberg, they never had a real plan on how to play out of the back. It's pretty glaring. Berkey also, Berkey, he also said now everything is much clearer under David Critchley and that the players feel the coaching change has been fresh air. So, like, I just feel like these guys have new life. I don't think that's just word salad by him. And I just think last week, like, the process was right. They just didn't get the result. And so just now back at home, I think they can keep that same process and just this team, Galaxy, just nightmare season. I just think City, they're going to have some good variants go their way here at home. I think they win the game. So this is a bet for me. I'm going to take City on the money line at plus 100. Tito, are we convincing you at all, or are you still not feeling it?
I'm still not feeling it. I think it is word salad by Berkey. Berkey's a pro. Berkey knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to speak to the fan base. He knows what the fan base is thinking. And so I think it is total word salad. So I love Roman Berkey. I trust in Roman, but I'll tell you right now, it's total word salad. And it might be a little bit severe weather here in St. Louis too, by the way. So I'm not sure if that's going to be good or bad for the run line or whatever the fuck we call it here in soccer. But
Run line.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm not. They're gonna have to again. They have to show me, and if they can't finish, then guess what? Tito ain't gonna be happy, Daddy.
They got to show Tito because he's from the show me state, baby.
Oh, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. They gotta show me.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Ticket holder, damn it! I pay good money to sell my damn seats. Not this season. No, it's all good.
Are you going tomorrow, or do you sell those things?
I don't know. We'll see. We got, like I said, we got baseball tomorrow. Got a newborn baby, so I don't know if I should. I don't know if I can ask my wife if hey, by the way, I got a game and I got a baseball game at 8:00 at night. And by the way, I'm gonna spend all afternoon down at downtown St. Louis watching this City team just completely piss me off. So I may have to sell them. We'll see.
Yeah, sloppy field. I'm not really sure in my soccer watching experience what that really does for, game flow. Like obviously, like American football, you got a sloppy field. That is an under festival, like we saw with that the Battlehawks DC Defenders game 2 weeks ago. We're not even going to talk about the game from last week. Like F those guys. That was
what a
just
fraud of a
terrible.
team. What a fraud of a
my God.
coach.
That was brutal.
It was just brutal. Let's move on and talk NBA Finals. A much
Hold
more
on, one thing
exciting
here,
topic.
Tito.
Oh, yeah, go
One
on.
thing about youth sports, Tito. Guess what? We got a 2-week basketball camp coming up, and I got a 2-week football camp coming up. It's summertime. I'm not, I coach all these sports too. I'm not looking for these camps already. Give me a break. Come on, man. What are we doing?
What are you
here?
talking about? This is the time of year. This is sports camp season is right at the beginning of summer.
I know it is, but I
Get
don't
out of here
like
with
it.
this nonsense.
I
That's
don't
a
like
big
it.
woof of a take.
I don't like it. I want to have my summer to
I
swim
don't
by
like
the pool.
it. I want to
and
stay
I'm
home. I don't want
June
to
and
send
July,
my kid to
take
camp.
it
Blah,
off.
blah, blah. That's what your
Take
parents.
it off.
Your parents were sending your ass to camps, and they were sucking it up, and they were taking care of it. The least you can do is send your kid to baseball, basketball, football camp. Sign them up. Quit complaining.
We do the camps. Also, if you do have kids involved in football, I'm going to just shout this one out. Isaac Bruce has a free football camp this Saturday, and good for Isaac Bruce, still giving back to the community.
Yeah, gotta love Isaac Bruce. He's been doing that for forever. Yeah, all these summer camps. I know my kid's at one right now. It's freaking expensive, man. But like, it's worth it. We're working adults. You need your time. But man, we just need the Pacers to keep winning games, and we're all gonna have money to be able to afford all these camps. Because like, it is Game 4 tonight with the Pacers up 2-1 on OKC. Like these NBA playoffs, like I think it's getting a bad rap nationally because it's two mid-market teams or small market teams. I could not care less. This has been so fun to watch. The basketball's been amazing, and it's been great to gamble on. So like I've been loving this. Like so first, like I cashed my big plus 2,100 ticket on the Pacers to win the Eastern Conference, which is awesome. So then we get to the finals. Sean, you bet the Pacers at plus 500 to win the series. That is looking real good right now. And then Tito, last week on this show, you fired a bullet, Pacers money line in Game 1. That came through as a 9.5-point underdog, which is the huge comeback. Halliburton, yet another big shot. And like I gotta say, like I was kicking myself last week. My best bet was on OKC to win and cover Game 1. It was a miserable experience watching that game. Like I've been rooting for the Pacers all year. I've been really rooting for them in the playoffs. And then it's Game 1 of the finals, and I got 2 units on OKC as a 9-point favorite. Just a dumb mistake.
Yeah, your numbers got me last week. Whoop on them numbers, man. When you're hot, and when you're cold, you're cold.
I've been telling myself a lot that over the last few weeks when I'm trying to handicap these games. So I deserve to lose that one in Game 1. But after that game, I said no more of that. At that point, I just put a bet on the Pacers to win the finals. And I still got a really good value at plus 294 was the exact price I got. So about plus 300. I'm feeling real good about that right now as we get ready for this big Game 4 tonight in Indy. OKC still a 6-point favorite here. And the total's been bet up a couple points. It's up to 227 now. So Sean, you kick us off here because you're riding that plus 500 ticket on the Pacers to win the title. What do you got here in this one?
Yeah, I love getting the best of that number. So that plus 500 is looking good. So I'm hoping this thing goes 7 games. That way I can hedge a little bit come the end of this thing. But boy, I don't want to spoil anything. There's going to be a bet for best bets that it's going to be on this game.
All right.
So I don't want to give my bet yet, but it's do or die for OKC. I think they got to win this game. I don't see the Pacers taking a 3-1 lead.
Damn it.
I do think OKC gets this thing done, but I think it's going to be a close game. I don't
Good
like the
number.
number. I don't like the number at all. But stick around for best bets, and I'm going to give you a bet on this game.
Good tease, brother. Tito, we riding Pacers money line again. What are we doing here?
Oh yeah, first of all, Mr. Sharp, that's a big woof of a take. I like the take related to going Game 7 so you can hedge. But this is not do or die for the Thunder. This game, they go down 3-1. They go back to OKC. They take care of business in OKC. They come back, steal a win in Game 6, and then Game 7, anything can happen. So it's not a must win. I would kind of argue that fact. But I'm all in on the fucking Pacers, Daddy. This team has got me fired up. I don't even know who's the white dude that is a scrappy little white dude, McCollum or whatever.
TJ McConnell.
McConnell, that guy is an absolute rock star. Reminds me of little Tito when Tito was on the CYC basketball court, a little scrappy, dribbling around, finding assists left and right. boxing people out, getting up and getting the rebound. So love that guy. I'll tell you right now, it's what you said earlier during your DraftKings spot. If Tyrese Halliburton actually, imposes his will and takes matters into his own hands, I love the Pacers. There are some times where he drifts off into the background. It's unlike SGA. That guy takes care. He takes advantage of the spotlight. He's always around. He's always in any run that the Thunder have. So I want to see Halliburton be a little bit more aggressive and get the ball out to the different shooters. They got a bunch of different shooters. I got a best bet on this game too, Daddy. So how about that, Mr. Sharp? I'm gonna come heads up right on you, Daddy. So I love the Pacers. Take the fucking points and ride with Tito again with game number 4 or 5, whatever game this is, and let's go Pacers tonight, Daddy. Woo!
One thing here, Tito, this is what makes me a professional gambler. The public was on OKC. I bet the Pacers to win the series. The public is slurping the Pacers right now. I'm going to fade them. That's what makes me who I am, brother.
Yeah, OKC might very well win this game. But, like, Sean, forget hedging. Like, you want the Pacers to win tonight. You're up 3-1. If you want to slide hedge then, you could take OKC on a big price to win the series.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Let's get that going. You are right. According to scoresandodds.com right now, 60% of the public is on the Pacers. So like OKC might very well win this game. Like I'm not saying the Pacers are gonna win this going away, but I just don't agree with this line at all. Like 6 is way too many.
Yeah.
Like before game 3, like I could see the argument that the Pacers, they got lucky in game 1. OKC's way better. The series should have been 2-0 heading to Indiana. Like after watching game 3, I think these teams are very close to being even, where the Thunder should not be a 6-point road favorite. Like the Pacers didn't even play their A game on Wednesday. They shot 33% from 3. They got out rebounded and they still won by 9. And I just think the head coach, Rick Carlisle, I think he's figured something out. Like this dude already won a title with the Mavs back in 2011. I just think he's putting on a masterclass right now with this nonstop pressure that they're putting on the Thunder. Like the Pacers, they got a few easy buckets from just like stealing the inbound passes. Our boy McConnell, Tito, just like after made baskets. Teams are not used to that pressure in the NBA, and McConnell just came up with a couple steals and get some easy buckets. Like they're picking up SGA full court. It's usually Nembhard or Shepherd. They're in his face like at all times. And like SGA is great. Like he's going to get his, but I just think there is something to this cumulative effect of this pressure that never stops. Like tip of the cap to Doris Burke. She's getting a bunch of shit in this series. Like, but she pointed that out in the last game about the cumulative effect of the pressure. And I think she's spot on. Like, I don't think it's any coincidence that the Pacers have won the fourth quarter in all 3 of these games, and they dominated the fourth quarter in both their wins. So like, I feel like you hear more about this, like in hockey, like this cumulative effect over the course of the series. Like, remember when the Blues just like beat the Sharks into a pulp, like those last 3 games in 2019. But I just kind of get the sense the Pacers are starting to wear down OKC. So like, if you're going to bet this game, I think Pacers on the money line at plus 180 is the best way to go, because I think the line is bad. Like, does that make sense about the cumulative pressure, Sean? Like, do you buy that with what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, legacy media hated the Pacers every series, but they run teams out of the gym. They can just this pace that they play with. It's incredible. You've seen it every series. It takes a toll. It definitely does, and that's why I like that future on them. But I've seen these things play out. I just, for some reason, I think OKC gets this thing done tonight in a close game.
Yeah, and you've been right in these spots a lot in these game 4s where you kind of know when a team really needs to come through. You've been hitting those. But one more thing on the series before we move on to the Stanley Cup Final. I still think there's value on the Pacers to win the series. It's at plus 185 on DraftKings. I really think at this point the Pacers should be a slight favorite to win the title, probably like minus 120, something like that.
Do you guys think the rust for OKC had anything to do with the start of this series? Because they wrapped their series up a little early and they were sitting around. We've seen that a lot in sports where you sit around and you got a little rust for the first few games.
I buy that more in baseball, like when the Tigers 2006 World Series where they sat for 8 days and then they didn't know how to throw the ball to first base. I don't really buy that in this one.
Basketball, yeah.
Yeah,
You
Tito,
know, we
got any
talk
thoughts
about
on
load
that?
management and all that nonsense. So no, I don't think the delays that really cost them anything, in my opinion. But Eric, big whoop to that take that the Pacers should be the favorites in this series already. They're only up one game. You're talking about OKC, which was the best team in basketball. The odds maker are not just going to completely flip the script and give the Pacers the advantage in this series. Maybe if the Pacers win tonight, obviously I think the odds makers will make the Pacers the favorite. But it's a little too premature to make the Pacers the odds-on favorite at this point.
Yeah, I'm not saying like big favorite, but just like 2-1 at home. I don't know. So I have actually a series bet I like as kind of a long shot play. Sean, I think you're going to like this. Maybe you won't. And actually, when we're done with the show, I'm actually heading over to Illinois to put a few bets in on some other things. And I'm actually going to put a little sprinkle on this one. So there's a market on DraftKings for the NBA Finals called Exact Outcome. And that means you can bet now on how you think the rest of the series is going to play out game by game. So I think the most likely outcome is exactly what happened in the series with the Knicks. Like I think the Pacers win tonight to go up 3-1. I do believe that's going to happen. Then OKC is desperate. They go back home. They win game 5. But then I think the Pacers, if they're going to win the series, it's probably going to be in 6, where they win both their home games. Because this goes to game 7, it's going to be a really tough putt. So I just think it makes a lot of sense for the series to play out that way, where it goes Indy, OKC, Indy for these last 3 games. And you can get that exact outcome at plus 850 on DraftKings. So I look at it this way, like I said, if the Pacers are going to win the title, that's the most likely way it's going to play out, right? So if you're looking to bet the Pacers now to win the series, I wouldn't bet the regular series price of plus 185. I would take this exact outcome bet, take a shot at a big price, a big payout at plus 850. What do you think about that, Sean?
I like that a lot. What's it at 7 games?
I'd have to look it up. Like Pacers in 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. I do think like a game 7 would be winnable for the Pacers. Like they're clutch.
If the odds are plus 450 for the Pacers to win and 7, you can put a sprinkle on both of them. It's good odds either way, and you're still betting the Pacers.
Pacers to win in 7 is at plus 700.
Yeah, right. So you're getting way better odds on both of those numbers. So if you like the Pacers that way, I like them bets a lot.
Yeah. I just think it's really interesting. I want to put a little more sprinkle on it, I think. Well, I'm curious to hear your best bet, but let's talk about this incredible Stanley Cup Final first. Like we're getting high scoring games. It's huge comebacks. We got 3 overtime games so far. Oilers and Panthers just giving you everything you'd want in a Stanley Cup Final rematch. Series tied at 2, game 5 tomorrow in Edmonton. Oilers a small favorite here at minus 125. Panthers at plus 105 on the money line. Your total is still 6.5. The over's plus 102. The under is minus 122. The odds to win the cup, dead heat. Both teams minus 110. So just an awesome series we've had here. Tito, kick us off. You got something here, or what are you thinking?
No, I don't have anything betting related, but what a pleasure it's been to watch these two teams compete. It's besides game number 2, or was it game number 3? I forget. I don't even remember.
Game 3 was the blowout. Yeah,
game 3 was the blowout. So big woof on that one. But 3 games that go to overtime, and watching the Edmonton Oilers come back from a 3-0 deficit. What a rock star of a performance! My oh my, I'm even more. I'm going to grow my beard out like those damn Vikings after the game. Did you guys see those Vikings that were in Florida last night? They were going absolutely ape shit after winning in overtime. When I was like a huge old fan, I was fired up. Put a smile on Tito's face. So I want to see the Oilers bring it back to Canada. I want to see them shock the world and take care of business. And big what? Thank you for bringing up the fucking Stanley Cup, because I've never been a fan of fucking Travis Kelce. Okay, you know what, motherfucker? You want to sit here and talk about? I'm sorry for all the cursing. I'm fired up. I'll stop cussing. But my goodness. Everyone talking about, oh, Travis Kelce, he loves St. Louis. He was here in 2019 for the Blues Stanley Cup. He goes and takes Taylor Swift to a Florida. When did you become a Florida Panther fan? I'm going to hold my tongue, but my goodness, what an absolute fraud. I can't believe he was at the game. Stay in Kansas City, spend your millions on going out to vacations with Taylor Swift. Big whoop. I saw an AI clip of Connor McDavid holding him accountable, which I absolutely love. Big woof to you, Travis Kelce. Get the hell out of here. Quit going to NHL games. Kansas City can't support an NHL team. Only St. Louis can, Jack.
I had a feeling you were going to bring that up with the Travis Kelce. I'm like, yeah, I thought he was a Blues fan, right? From 6 years ago. That was such a joke. Sean, thoughts on this?
Yeah, and Legacy Media, they knew the assignment. Every time there was a goal, they showed Kelce and Swift. Give me a break. I'm sure it was planted on purpose to get ratings up. Give me a break. Big woof, Tito. I'm with you. Yeah, I've actually been hitting a couple of these games in the series. I know we hit the Panthers on that double overtime win. I had the Oilers last night, and I was sweating it, brother. When I was down 3-0, I was like, this is a loss. And then come dinner time, I'm watching, and all right, we got a shot. And what a game! What a great game! I'm not rooting for Canada to win the cup, though. So my money's going to be probably. I'm going to sit this next game out. I'm going to see what happens. Can we bet the over again? I guess it just keeps hitting. It keeps hitting, and you know how I am. I don't like to just keep hammering something that happens over and over. I'm probably going to not bet this game and see who wins and then fade whoever wins. That's where I'm kind of looking long picture. But if I'm looking for any bet here, I would just put a sprinkle on the over. Seems like these teams really know each other. They're definitely worn out. And, shaky legs on the ice leads to goals. So I would take the over. But what a series. It's just been fun to watch. I would love to be able to bet the Panthers here. But I don't know. My gut tells me the Oilers get this thing done at home. It's going to be rocking there. So maybe a sprinkle. And, I like that 1.5, but every game's been going to overtime. So you're not getting a shot at that 1.5 right now. So I'm really kind of fading that. Maybe a sprinkle on Edmonton at -120 in the over. And if Edmonton wins, then Tuesday we're looking for the Panthers to win this thing back at home and go 7 games.
Yeah, I think that's the move. If you're looking at a side, like I have no idea who's going to win game 5, but whoever loses game 5, I think going to be on them game 6 because this is game 7 written all over it. My play for this game is actually going to be my best bet for the show. So I'll give it to you guys here in just a minute. And it is time for our best bets. And they are brought to you by Pretzel Boys. And again, this is a chance for you, the viewer, to get involved. All you got to do is leave a comment on this video with your best bet. Could be from any game this weekend. If you're the first person to comment and your bet hits, you win a $20 gift card from Pretzel Boys. The first person loses their bet, then the second commenter will win the gift card if they hit their best bet, so on and so forth. So again, drop us a comment on this video with your best bet for the weekend for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Pretzel Boys. For our best bets, Sean, you are carrying us here, brother. 4 wins in a row now for you. After nailing that Red Sox pick, you got it in there last week just in time. So where are you going for your best bet?
What a game that was.
Does the game that was a crazy game with all the swings. Does your best bet start in like 1 minute, or we got a little more time this week to get it in?
Oh, we got some time. Yeah. We've been cashing those best bets like it's, we're printing money like the Federal Reserve, baby.
You are. Me and Tito are in a rut right now.
It's okay. You guys will get it going. I'm ready, but these odds are moving on me pretty quick.
Uh-oh.
So you don't have anything in pocket?
I do have this in pocket. It's pretty square. I didn't say in pocket today for you, Tito. I know you had a problem with that last week, but in pocket's a pretty nice little betting term. I like it.
I like it too. I'm a big fan.
So, as you know, we've been beating up on the Rockies all year. Rockies are leaving Colorado. They're heading over to Atlanta. But we're going to take Atlanta money line in a parlay at -325, and we're going to take OKC money line at -240. $100 parlay wins you $85. That's my best bet.
Man, I don't mind that one bit. I thought you were going to give us like a Braves -1.5 or a Rockies team total under with the Coors Field hangover. I like the play in terms of I don't think laying -6 with OKC is a good idea tonight. If you think OKC is going to win, try and find a way to take him to win straight up like you just did. I think that's a good way to approach.
That's a coupon on the Braves. Colorado's a joke of a team. They just won their last game in walk-off fashion, so they're not going to win 2 in a row, especially leaving Colorado. That hangover effect's a real deal. We've been hearing about that in fantasy for years. That lineup goes ice cold after they leave Colorado. So I'm just throwing that little coupon in there.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think if you're going to do it, that's a good way to do it. Although I do think the Pacers are going to win, but man, when we go heads up, that usually does not go well for me. Tito, what do you got for your best bet here today?
Yeah, it's not going to be super square like this fraud over here. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy. Like I told you, my best bet's in the NBA Finals. I'm a big Pacer lover now. I like Obi Toppin and the over 12 points scored. This guy is automatic from the free throw line. I absolutely love this guy. This guy has been a rock star. He's been coming up with key dunks. He can hit the outside shot from time to time. So I like Obi Toppin to score over 12 points. That's plus 165 on DraftKings, folks. So that's my best bet. Come on with Tito. Come get your best bet. Let me know if you think my best bet's going to hit in the comments. Give me your best bet, like Eric said, and get a free $20 Pretzel Boy gift card. I was there yesterday. I must have had 15 Pretzel Boy pretzels, Daddy. It was awesome.
Man, yeah, Tito, I'm glad you're finally getting on the money train. I know the very first bet I gave on the show was Michigan State at plus 135. I'm not always a square better, but sometimes you got to bet that way, Tito. And Eric, what was I going to talk to you about? Oh, man, I just lost my train of thought. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, you're thinking of it. Tito, you mentioned earlier you had a Kershaw take from what happened last week. Did you want to talk about that?
The Cardinals. I don't expect anything less from the Cardinals. Showing that big city home run from 2014. I didn't expect anything differently. Calling us a Bush League franchise. The only Bush League franchise that I see is Bush League teams trying to win World Series by paying $800 million per year and then having $1 billion of it deferred, ruining baseball. Okay, Kershaw, come with some facts and come at Tito if you have an opinion about the Cardinals being a Bush League. The only thing that Bush League about the Cardinals is the name Busch Stadium, Daddy. So you're an absolute fraud. We'll light your ass up in the postseason. I hope we play you in the postseason, and we'll light you up in the 7th inning of any game that we play you in, you fraud. Big wolf to you, Clayton Kershaw. Get the hell out of here. Retire already, Daddy.
Well, I'm glad I asked him. You needed to get that off your chest, it appears.
What a big wolf. What are we doing? I mean, again, I don't even understand the comment. If you're too ingratiated in watching the scoreboard and watching the video that the Cardinals play to the fans, that's how you get fans engaged. That's how you get fans fired up. Kudos to Cardinal Nation for showing out this past weekend, too. They're over 30,000 strong. So damn right. When we put a winning team on the field, the fans are going to show up. Where are the media members talking about how the fans did show up? Huh? Come on, media members. Let's give some kudos to the Cardinal fan base, and let's give Clayton Kershaw a big kick in the ass out of here.
Well, you can really tell it got under his skin, or he wouldn't have had a comment about it. So it's really bothered him. It's something we're living rent free in his head. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, he's gotten his. He got his titles. He's got his money. But I've had some of my best. I was at the game on Sunday when he beat us. I was with my wife and daughter, and I was telling them. I said some of my favorite memories of my life have been in this building with Clayton Kershaw getting rocked by the Cardinals. So kudos to him for stepping up last Sunday and getting a win. But you cannot take those memories away from me with those playoff wins over Clayton Kershaw. Just some of the most incredible baseball games we've ever seen in this town.
Kudos to him for winning a meaningless game on a Sunday at the end of May. Big whoop to or the beginning of June. Big whoop to you, Clayton Kershaw.
I lost a bet in that game. I was on the Cardinals over 2.5 runs in the first inning, so it mattered to me. I was not happy with it. My best bet, I'm not getting cute here. Sean, you kind of alluded to it. Stanley Cup Final, Game 5 tomorrow. I'm going over 6.5 goals. I know you probably don't like this, but the over's 10-1 in the last 11 meetings with these teams, including a perfect 4-0 here in the series. You go back to 2017, the over's cashing at a 60% clip in the Stanley Cup Final. So
regression.
I know, and that's what I'm just like. Why don't I just bet this every freaking game, and then if I lose, I'm still 4-1. Because I was an idiot and took the under trying to get cute last week when I went heads up against you. and lost. But my best bet, if it loses, it loses. Oilers, Panthers, game 5, over 6.5 goals, plus money, plus 102 on DraftKings. Let's finish up real quick. Home team plays of the week. Our favorite plays in the games involving the local teams. I'm actually taking City to win. I just think it's a good bounce back spot with how well they played last week in a loss. Galaxy are terrible. Give me City, money line, plus 100. Tito, where are you going?
Cardinals tonight, Daddy. Give me the Cardinals plus 128 to win, baby. Let's go Cardinals.
Man, I hope the offense gets going. John, what you got?
I'm with you on City. I think they get this win, and good for City. And one good thing, kudos to the Cardinals for donating money for the tornado relief. Good job by the St. Louis Cardinals. Boy, that stand-up organization. Are they?
They're donating goods. They're doing a goods drive at Schnucks where they're donating to Operation Food Suits that are going to be helping out the tornado victims. So
awesome.
So both teams doing a great job.
Love to hear that. Awesome. Where's the St. Louis Blues? Step in, baby. Let's go. Call them out.
Maybe they've done something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's a good way to wrap up the show because, I really did. I noticed it yesterday when I dropped off my daughter at camp and saw Forest Park. I'm like, holy shit. Like this process is going to take a long time to get everything cleaned up. And that was just one part of the city. I know other parts of the city got it even worse. So
one thing about James Carlton, I did make a phone call to him. I can't switch at this time because I'm in a battle with my insurance we had hail damage here. And I won't say my insurance company's name, but it's been a complete nightmare. I had a $100 estimate on my truck for hail damage. Had to pretty much threaten with a lawsuit to get someone to come out and look at my truck. Ended up being about $8,000 in damage.
And they were going to cover $100 of it?
Yes, sir. So, that was a big discrepancy, and it's been a whole thing. I got to get a new roof, new siding. So I talked to James Carlton. I can't make a switch right now because I'm in a bunch of things right now. So we're looking at next year making that switch. But I can't wait to make a switch and actually be able to call someone and say, hey, I just went through a tornado. Can you help me out? It's been a nightmare. So call James Carlton if you are dealing with incompetent insurance adjusters.
Yeah. The phone number, again, get it on speed dial because, once you get through this process, I think a lot of people are like, I'm done with my agent. I need someone new who's going to take care of me. 314-961-4800 is the phone number. Or you can click the link in the YouTube description to go to carltoninsurance.net. That is going to do it for today's show. Hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel. And again, leave a comment here with your best bet for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Pretzel Boys. Happy Father's Day weekend to you boys and all the dads out there. For Sean, for Tito, I am Eric. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for being with us, guys, and we will see you next Friday.
Yeah, let's keep cashing.